With the credit score, obviously, there's a difference between someone who is an investor versus someone who perhaps is a first-time home buyer. But one thing I've also seen is people who have a really high credit score, but they don't have the right kind of credit on their credit report. Does it make sense? Like they haven't had long relationships. They're brand new, so they might have an 800 score, but they don't really have, they might only have a bank account and one credit card or something like that. So how does the credit report play in to your decision for a mortgage?
It plays into every decision. Because I keep saying this, but there are programs that are backed by the government. Whether they be conventional, FHA, Federal Housing Administration, or VA, Veterans Administration, USDA, rural development. So everything is related to a credit score or a credit report, potentially. When these loans are serviced by an investor that is responsible for making sure they adhere to those government agency guidelines. So with that being said, someone comes and they have a credit, they have questions, they have a great credit score, but they only have one. Well, Fannie and Freddie actually give some flexibility to someone with only one credit score. That wasn't always the case years ago. That wasn't the case, but they do now. And in some cases, depending upon the length of time, if someone comes in and they have no credit score, do you know that there are programs available to someone with no credit score?
No, really? I didn't know that. No credit score?
So with no official credit score, then we can look at alternative sources of credit.
You mean like that would be somebody who's a foreign national who has no credit? Or is it a first-time home buyer?
First-time home buyer.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, again, the education piece is so critical. Once you start to have that conversation and getting that level of comfort established with that potential home buyer and getting them to let their guard down and communicating sincerely and with authenticity and saying, okay, I understand exactly what you're saying here. Let me help you. Oh, can I get back to you? I'm going to check a few guidelines. You check the guidelines, you come back and you say, guess what? There are some loan programs that are available for you with no credit score, but this is the route you have to take. These are some of the things we have to do. We've got to check a cell phone bill. We got to check your insurance history for the last 12 months. We got to check your rent history for the last 12 months, things of that nature. Yeah. And so being able to have a yay team, folks that are knowledgeable, whether they work for a bank, work for a mortgage company, it still has to be someone who's knowledgeable that can look at a situation and help make wise decisions.